It's Dave Landau, and you're watching Andy Smith, the coolest comic book creator around. Just ask his mom. I have. All hail Comicsgate. Bam! Bam! Bam!
Shut up and sit down.
Certified Badass.
That's right. I am a certified badass. Good morning, everybody. It is Andy in the morning. It has been a while. I know. I understand. You miss me in the morning. I'm like a hot cup of coffee with a shit ton of caffeine. I get into your veins and launch you into your day. At least that's what I tell myself. So anyhow, we are here today. I'm joined by my partner in crime. I don't know if it's a partnership, if he's holding a gun to my head and makes me be the getaway driver. Seems more like I'm a hostage, but the police see it as two in the car, partner in crime. Not
Bang,
fair.
bang. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Marcus. Good morning, Rick. Big ups to you. Well, hello, on my second cup right now. And Marcus needs more coffee. Well, go get some, son. Yeah, so this morning, got a little bit of time. I've got some stuff to unbox. Dennis and I, as far as I remember, both got the same thing in the mail this past week. So we'll show that. And we want to talk about She-Hulk. It's 2 episodes in. We've watched them both. We haven't had a chance to talk about episode 1 because I was on a vacation last week when it dropped. And then when, this past Wednesday, we, of course, had the magnificent Bud Root, who hooked us up with a great cover for Cordrath. You're like, what's Cordrath? Cordrath is this book that you saw the trailer to. Sign up will be in the link below, in the description below, I should say. The link will be down there. I haven't had a chance to do it, but it will be down there. And Bud did this nice cover for us, which will be a variant on the campaign. And that's why you need to sign up, so you know when the campaign goes live. Right
We
now,
actually did. Yeah, we did a live stream right from Bud's house on Wednesday. It was a blast.
Yep, and this bad boy is at the colorist now. So there you go. There you go. All right, let's talk about a little She-Hulk making your dreams come true. Is she making our dreams come true, Dennis?
Absolutely not.
Oh, bang, right out of the gate. Dennis fires the first shot. It's like walking up to somebody, slapping him in the face. Time for a duel.
Yep, that is a total knockout. I'm going to tell you to start with, I watched the first episode and I kind of sat there. It had some cute moments to it, but that show just pissed me off on almost every level. I absolutely was disgusted by it. And I was just like, especially if you're a She-Hulk fan, which I am, I really enjoyed her. The John Byrne run, still one of the most fun comic series I've ever had the pleasure of reading. So they tried capturing some of the humor and stuff like that. But oh my God, the woke in your face slapping you around garbage, I stand it. So I'm glad we didn't talk about it right away because I really would have vented. And then I said, I got to give it to at least watch the second episode.
All right, so breaking down episode 1. Right out of the gate, they mess with her origin. Now, in the book, she gets a blood transfusion from her cousin Bruce. There's nobody else around. Bruce obviously knows how to do this stuff. He rushes her back to his place or wherever and just basically does a quickie transfusion. It's 1977 when that book came. Or wait, when did it come out? Do you remember the year that book came out?
I was thinking it was about 80.
All right, 1980 when the book came out, or around there. Fine, that works. In this, though, there's a car accident. You're still going, okay, Bruce will pull her out and save her, and like a klutz, he accidentally gets blood inside of one of her wounds from like his head or something like that. That would work. Oh no. Bruce, after the car rolls many times down the hill, and look, at that point, it doesn't matter who's stronger. You don't know who's going to wake up at all from that type of accident. But lo and behold, it's Jen Walters that wakes up, Bruce's cousin, and she rushes around to the other side of the car, undoes his seatbelt, and pulls him out rather easily. But I mean, it is Mark Ruffalo, so he's pretty limp. How hard would it be to tug him out of a car? Point is, he has a cut on his head. She has one gash on her arm. Her arm is underneath. Blood drips from his head into her arm. So it wasn't a transfusion, but it was still, why do we need to take Bruce down a notch? Why flip it?
Rick,
I hear you,
watch
Rick,
this so that you don't have to.
Right. We do. As reviewers, look, many movie reviewers, us included, will go jump on a grenade, aka a movie that we know will suck, so we can tell you guys. So Dennis, what happened after the auto accident?
So she gets her powers, and it's almost like instantaneously. Oh my God, there it is. She's suddenly a Hulk and she's strong, and they go back to the lab, and Bruce is like, I've got an entire book about here's my history of all the crap I've gone through and what I've tried to do to control my anger. And she's like, basically, I don't need that. I already control my anger because I'm better at it than you, because I infinitely am angrier all the time. So I have to check it. Like when I walk down the street and get catcalled, or a man tells me how to do my job better than me, I am obviously way infinitely, quote unquote, more used to controlling my anger. And my head exploded. And I was like, even my wife, we're watching it together, and she's like, oh my God, he literally lost Natasha, who saved the entire universe, her dead, his entire life from, in the comic books, his mother gets killed by his father, and he's lived with regret and having to hide away. There's been nothing positive in his life. The man's had a wreck of a life. But because she gets catcalled, she's infinitely angrier than Bruce to start with.
Well,
God.
And remember, Dennis, she said at the end of her little tirade, and every day I have to worry about getting murdered. Literally.
Yes.
No, you don't. If you're going to say that, I'll say that. Any of us could be murdered every day. And the whole, like you said, the catcalling thing, oh my God, talk about first world problems. You think somebody in a shithole country would see that, a woman, and go, oh, here we go. How about Afghanistan? where the women can't even walk around without anything covered except their face and their freaking hands, right? They're sitting there going, oh my God, your biggest problem is being catcalled, bitch? Shut up. I mean, it is, or just women over here. You pick 10 women, just go anywhere, go to a mall, go wherever, and just randomly pick 10 women and then ask them how many of them get catcalled. I'm not even sure one, but we'll say 1 out of 10.
Well, the funny thing is I was having a conversation about this with a few different girls, and most of the girls are like, man, if I'm walking down the street and somebody goes, hey, baby, you look hot, she's like, thank you. They like that. So the only people that take offense are usually the people who never get catcalled, which means you already know the type of individual who's writing this show. A person who never would and gets angry at all men. This show is
And let's be honest, like your example of somebody saying, oh, you're so hot. That's a good example. But let's take it down a little bit even further. A woman would probably, if they're walking by and a guy was like, wow, you're really pretty, right? Or, oh, that's a great jacket. They would consider that catcalling. And it's like, that is not catcalling. Catcalling is literally you're walking down the street and a dude's like, whoa, look at that sweet ass. You got some fries with that shake? You know, that's catcalling. But in today's world, wow, those are pretty eyes. Don't you catcall me.
Yeah, catcalling is when you think of the stereotypical, you're in New York City, the construction workers are all up there jackhammering on the big buildings, and this hot girl walks by, and they all stop working, and they're all like, start whistling, going, hey, baby, woo. That's a catcall, not, you look really nice today.
It's like Lizzo walking down the street, and somebody's like, wow, I bet that woman can suck down 3 large pizzas in one sitting, and Lizzo's like, don't you be catcalling me.
Right. So then the show continues on, and Bruce is trying to help her control. There's more.
Well, to back up to that scene, so she talks about, oh, I can control my anger and blah, blah, blah. Really? Because you just walked out of a bar where 3 guys weren't super aggressive and weren't catcalling you. They were like, hey, hi, do you need what's up? Do you need any help? What's your name? And you literally hulked out over that, and Bruce had to punch you out to basically get you from, tearing apart 3 dudes. So don't give me any crap that you can handle your anger. When Bruce originally became the Hulk, it was the 2 separate identities. And when he was the Hulk, there was no really reasoning, like he wouldn't turn into the Hulk if somebody came up to him and just started talking to him and he didn't like the way they were talking to him.
Right.
That wouldn't trigger him. Now, if they came up and started pushing him around, even like in the TV show, and like getting physical with him, that probably would. So they just contradicted themselves. Anyhow.
Her whole thing with her anger issues, there is so much. So in the comic books, the comic books did it great because it was a transfusion, which made a lot of sense. And she wanted to be a superhero, and Bruce was racked with guilt throughout the entire series. Whenever he was in the book, he always felt terrible because he did this to Jen. And she's like, Bruce, don't worry about it, baby. Come on, cuz. I want to be a force for good. I want to be a superhero. I'm here to help people. Go to this show, it's the exact opposite. I don't want to be a superhero. I just want to be an attorney and have my career because my career is more important. And I'm Luke Skywalker, and I want to go to Tashi Station for a power converter. Wah! And I'm like, oh my God, you whiny sack of garbage. I couldn't stand it.
But whoever, the writer of this show is probably thinking, of course that's how a woman would feel if she got powers like that. Oh my God, more responsibility. Like I need more. I'm already a woman in this world. How much responsibility do you think I can handle?
Right. And then,
in the comic, she'd be like, yeah, bring it on.
And then the lawyer, there's an actual lawyer that she's supposed to be doing a case with whose name is Dennis. And immediately, oh, he's stupid, he's bad because he's a man, and she's basically like the other paralegal and her start picking on him and get him out of the office. Oh, go away. He's one of the guys that basically talks down to her. And I'm like, he never said anything that was in there. It's just like when she gets the new job, and I know we're fast forwarding a little bit. The guy goes, you were so good in court. You destroyed us. I got a mistrial because you turned into She-Hulk, but you're so good. I'm going to bring you on because I want you to lead up this new division. She turns around and goes, oh my God, the only reason I got this job is because I'm a She-Hulk. I'm green. I'm a superhero. That's what they want me to be. I'm like, no, literally, he just said you were such a good lawyer. You destroyed his entire law firm. And that's why he wants you. But she doesn't hear that. She sees it through the glasses of, I'm a woman, I'm a superhero minority.
It's almost like that line of dialogue you said about where she's like, oh, I got this job, but it's only because I'm green and I'm the She-Hulk and stuff. It's almost like they replaced She-Hulk with, in the word green, they replaced those. And it was originally, I only got this job because I'm a person of color and I'm a woman. Yes. I'm Kamala Harris.
Right.
So, but you're right. But she goes on. Well, and the other thing, going back to episode 1, and by the way, do you think they could have been going for an unreliable narrator angle when Jen thinks and says is not accurate? I don't think so at all.
Nope.
So they're not doing that.
It's a good thought. At least that would smooth over a few of the rough edges, but that isn't what they're doing.
No, it seems way too smart. But, in the first episode as well, Bruce basically tells her, oh, it's because of because he got some blood. He got some of her blood too, I thought.
Well,
because
he got
used
her
that
blood.
as the reason his arm healed.
Yeah, she is the reason. And she goes, so I'm better than you. He goes, no, right. You're different, but in a better way. I'm a better Hulk than you. No. And I was just like, here we go. We're not even 30 minutes into the first episode or 20 minutes in, and she's already a better Hulk than what he is. I'm like, oh my God, stop destroying all the characters. I mean, just, oh my God, I couldn't stand it.
I also don't like, just from a story thing, the first episode ends where she punches Titania halfway across the room. What's up? Halfway across the room, right? In that courtroom. And there's literally no, besides the lawyer from the other team offering her a job, there's no real reason. Like Titania, you'd think she'd come up or something. I don't know. She got gamma-powered blood from him. He got syphilis from her. Ooh. Or monkeypox.
I'll put my mask on.
That's right. So it's just weird. I know Titania is going to show up again, but just nothing. Not even like just a shot of her. Like, did they arrest her?
Why was she there? Why did she punch in? There is no context. It was like,
no, they said that. No, hey, they said it in episode 2.
But not in episode 1. So she's there. She just shows up.
Yeah, but she did just show up, but I didn't mind. I don't mind non-linear stuff. So I don't mind in episode 2 them saying that she was there for a DUI or whatever it was, disturbing the people, whatever. Hey, Big Raj, thank you for the super sticker. Always appreciated. I'm going to take that sticker and take the other one I've gotten and make pasties.
Power pasties.
So that's my thing is I don't mind them mentioning it in the second episode.
You're right. At least they came to it. So the issue that I have, and I know that they share something special in their blood, but literally a single drop of blood from her or from him turned her into it. Do the super chat.
Well, so Michael Fedor Show, thank you for the $5. Here's a tip. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I don't mind it because the other way I kind of rationalize it too is because it was just a drop. And I know they didn't, in the lab, he didn't even pursue this angle, but I think you could, is even though it was just a drop, that could be something that leads her to not get as big. Because let's be real. I mean, the Hulk gets big, but he gets super jacked. You could get, as a woman, you could get a lot bigger than what She-Hulk is. And I'm not talking that ridiculous stuff they did in the comics a few months ago. I'm just saying, if you looked at some real heavy competing female bodybuilders, they're a lot freaking bigger.
No, and I get that angle of it.
There could be that. Hold on. There could be that. And that could also be why she doesn't rage as much.
Well, and that's possible. The issue that I have is that creates a whole new issue in the universe. The reason why the transfusion made sense, it's a slow process. You got to go through it. You're putting a lot of blood through it. That's the first part. But the second part is he literally bled and dripped a drop of blood. Here's the problem with that. The Hulk is not invulnerable. The Hulk bleeds all the time. Even in the movies, in the comic books, he bleeds all the time. He heals really quickly. The problem is, does this mean that every time he bleeds, when he punches somebody and a drop of blood gets in, there is no chance that person has something special? We're going to have an entire world of potential Hulks coming out because they didn't want Bruce to save her.
I thought, and I could be wrong, but I thought when he was in the lab with her in the first episode, it was basically covered that because they shared DNA and stuff, that's why it worked.
Yeah. But there's something special in the DNA, is what he said.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know. That's a minor. He said it. So by saying it, even though it wasn't this long diatribe of an explanation, in my book, just by saying it covers any of that. Well, what if he drips on me or you or something like that? So I don't care about that as much. What's up, Val? That's right. Everybody like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. That's why I don't know. I don't mind what they did. Like I said, the bigger thing for me is her saving him and not the other way around, and how every guy on the show so far, they have to demasculate and stuff. Except I'm trying to think. I don't know if she did it to her new boss yet. I think he's been pretty tough. There's been no talking down to him yet.
No, she broke the fourth wall when she was walking with him and going, "Oh my God, the only reason he hired me is because I'm a minority and I'm a woman and I'm green and I'm a superhero and all these other reasons, not the fact that I'm a good lawyer." And then she comes back in there and she goes, "Oh my God, what did I just say to him? I'll be spending the entire year worrying about what I said to him." Back into it, and I'm just like, oh my God. So they're trying to bring in some of the good elements from the comic. They're just failing.
Well, what did you think when her and her bestie, that's right, sign up now for Cordrath. There's the link. And Val, pin that to the top. I think you should be able to do that as a moderator. If not, I'll have to do it. What did you think when her and her friend there were talking about the name and not saying, "Oh, She-Hulk is lazy," but just the Hulk in general as the name for, what they named Bruce? Because it's kind of like, I don't mind, and I don't think they did this. Tell me if they did. I don't mind busting on something if your follow-up is, it could have been this or it could have been this.
Right.
But they didn't even do that. So it's like, look, don't tell me the Hulk is lame as a name when that's what he looks like, a giant hulking figure. And it's like, yeah, what else would they call you?
All she did was go out of her way to tear down, again, the name of a beloved character, even though it's partly in her own name. That's right.
Sign up. If you don't sign up and back the campaign through signing up, you will not get one of these trading cards. You have to sign up to get the card. And you're like, but, Mr. Smith, what's the card look like? Mr. Turner, what's it look like? It looks like this.
And she's badass.
Oh, right there. Oh, I can't do it. Anyhow, it's all backwards. Yeah, so they're busting on his name, which, that's just it's more
problem-
disrespectful to
Here's the
me
issue,
for
Andy.
the guys that created the stuff.
I heard you go, So here's the issue. If we take one of these things individually, like an anecdotal thing, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that was kind of dumb. Okay, yeah, that's kind of dumb. The problem is when you take all this dumbness and you pour it into a vat, the entire thing gets full of dumbness and hatred and ridiculous comments. Just done. I mean, this show is just hate. It is just absolutely garbage. And the second episode, we get into it, was so boring. It's so boring, I almost don't even want to talk about it. I was like, well, at least let's see where they go with it. It wasn't as woke, but it was just like a snoozer. I'm like, okay, it's family drama stuff dealing with that. Okay, whatever. Don't really care. Honestly, I've already kind of checked out of this show about the same place I did with Miss Marvel.
Oh boy. This is better than Miss Marvel.
Lilith physically won't be as strong. I mean, she's pretty good, but man, is there a lot of cool shit she can do that She-Hulk can't. There is a lot of depth, a lot of interesting abilities. She is a succubus from the 123rd layer, of course, of the Abyss. So she can do a lot. So stay tuned and read it when it comes out.
Read it or weep. Just fixing, so the link will be below in our description. Episode 2 also had the family dinner.
Yep.
As well, which, it's such a stereotype now, and it does go back to, All in the Family with Meathead, but there's always a brother, a cousin, or somebody like that is just a doofus, slacker, Nordwell in the family. And they had it, and it was even stereotypical to the point of having long hair, just.
Do you know what's funny? You said that, and as soon as we saw him start acting up, we were sitting there watching it, my wife and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's Meathead." It literally, that's exactly what I said. So that's funny. You came to the same conclusion
because that's how they played the guy. And then it's like, and I didn't mind some of the typical stuff because there are stereotypes for a reason. So her mom trying to set her up, and her aunt, I guess that was, sitting next to her, talking to her about stuff, that she could do or whatnot.
Right. The caring father who's trying to, at least get in there.
Well,
yeah, it's fun.
So here's the funny thing about that. And they actually brought it back around is, she comes down to the basement and she's automatically thinking, great, what's he want me to lift? Because she's like, all right, what do you need? And I thought that was funny. She's obviously in the basement thinking, great, he wants me to get big, She-Hulk, and lift stuff and move stuff.
Yep.
And then in the after credit scene, which I thought was actually pretty entertaining, that after credit scene, that's exactly what she's doing. They're changing the tire. She's lifting the car. She has to take in a ton of water, big water jugs for her dad, like 3 big water jugs in each arm. And she even says, Dad, I think you're drinking too much water. Or how much water?
Dad, I know you want to stay dehydrated, but really.
Yeah. So I thought that was funny,
Yes. Yeah.
But getting back to some visual stuff, I don't know if it's me. I need to go back and watch the original Avengers and then watch Age of Ultron, because when he's Smart Hulk and he's wearing a t-shirt, he actually doesn't look as big. And I don't know if that's maybe lazy CGI, if it's maybe a subtle way of saying when he's Smart Hulk, it's not in between exactly, but he's not as big when he's Smart Hulk. But I don't know, because it's one of those things. The madder he gets, the stronger he gets. Well, so when Smart Hulk decides to go rage mode, maybe he gets big. I don't know.
The CGI is a whole separate issue. Now, Remember when
yeah.
the trailers were coming out, it is better than the trailers. So that must have either been final or they heard us. But it is definitely not great by any means. This is low budget, kind of CGI. It's actually kind of disappointing, especially with the amount of money that they're pouring in. But I think with all these shows that are really mediocre, they're dumping so much money in, but they're spreading it between so many properties. It's just not panning out, honestly. They need to just focus in on one here and one there and just make it a little bigger budget because there's expectations out there.
I'm not the only one that noticed it. He's tiny compared to Incredible Hulk movie or even Avengers. Well, the Incredible Hulk movie I don't count because the whole design of the Hulk in that movie is totally different from how he first appeared in the first Avengers movie. It was a total different creative team and all that. So I really don't compare those visuals because this is my favorite version of what the Hulk looks like, but it really is the early stuff from the first few Avengers movies, honestly, even Endgame. But for some reason, he just doesn't look as big and muscular. And it could be, Tabitha says, the MCU's not handled the Hulk well as other characters. And in Endgame, the fact Hulk did not rage out on Thanos is major.
I totally agree. I totally agree with Tabitha.
But to get back to the CGI, I mean, he doesn't look as good. She-Hulk, there are times, I think in close-ups, they put more work into it. But then in the shots, medium shots and stuff, even in like the after-credit scene where she was lifting all the heavy stuff for her dad, I thought her movements looked a little disjointed and does kind of look Shrekky, in a way.
Yep. Yeah, it's not good. My favorite Hulk, Val says, is from the 80s cartoon, similar to, Spider-Man. That was good. I always enjoyed it. That is
the funny thing is, classic. The funny thing is about this show, I thought as soon as he said 80s cartoons, when you're watching as an adult, if you're watching 80s cartoons, for just, you just like the cartoons and stuff, you realize, this isn't supposed to be the quality. It's not the quality of an animated movie you go see in the theaters. And it's almost like Marvel's like, well, these are just TV shows. We can't put the same quality in. But the problem with that is you already set the bar with the movies and the CGI in the movies. And when you set the bar like that, and then you come out saying, we're doing TV shows and they're going to be just as awesome, you need to do the same bar for the CGI on the shows. And I just don't believe they are. Of course, they're going to come out and say, of course we are, but I don't buy it. Anyhow, let's rate this thing and move on to some other stuff. First 2 episodes, Dennis, go.
2.5.
Damn, 2.5
out of 10. My CGC score is 2.5. If it weren't for you guys, I am taking the bullet for you because honestly, this is complete crap and garbage. So, this is hands down the worst Marvel show yet. I mean, it's almost unbearable. I stopped watching Ms. Marvel because it was so bad. And Ms. Marvel looks like a masterpiece compared to this. And the problem is this is coming from a show. I love the comic book series, the John Byrne series, Savage She-Hulk. Seriously, was fantastic. This is just gag me with a silver spoon.
Prater says the only time I've noticed the movie Hulk getting stronger or bigger was the Eric Bana movie. Now you're right. In the Eric Bana movie, well, wait, let me correct me if I'm wrong, Dennis, when it comes to his powers. First, in the Eric Bana movie, you're 100% correct. He went from like maybe 8 feet tall, he got up to 12. He definitely physically grew. But as far as I know, in the comic books, it's always Matter Hulk gets stronger, not bigger, not physically bigger, just stronger. Because that's actually what I like. Because at that point, he could just get so mad that he could just, what's to stop him from being
World Breaker Hulk?
Right. I don't like how he gets bigger. I like how he just gets stronger and stays the same size.
But they,
So
but going back to Prater's point, they don't reference anything about it since Eric Bana, and I think he's dead on that one because Nero's the second one, the guy who played Nero. Ed Norton. So Ed Norton, he gets angry, and his whole movie was about controlling the anger, but it never talked about him, and they didn't show it, and then that moved on. So for this, they don't really bring that into it at all.
No, but they have in the movies. I'm almost positive in the movies it's been mentioned the angry gets the strong. Okay, let's move on because we have limited time. I'm giving it a 4.5, so I'm tacking 2 on. I don't think it's actually. I'll even go as far and give it a 5, because going back to the Saturday morning cartoons, that's what this reminds me of. This does not remind me of a sitcom that you'd ever see on a network. Actually, I take it back. It does. This actually reminds me of a sitcom you would see on one of the 3 networks, major networks, because you'd see it and go, oh, yeah, it's kind of low budget sitcom, So that's actually what it reminds me of. So they need to do better. They need to stop with the woke garbage they're doing in it. So that's it. I'm going to watch it every week because my daughter really enjoys it. She doesn't know any better. She really likes it, so I'll watch it with her. Descartes says, I was a kid with anger issues, so I love the Hawk. What the MCU did to the Hawk really pissed me off. I hear you. So anyhow, moving on, let's get to a little, I got one of these fun packages in the mail. I got a book in the mail. Dennis, you don't have to unbox yours because you already did, but you can grab it and we'll dig if it's close. If not, don't worry about it. What did I get? Dun 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 dun.
I'll grab it.
Dun 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 dun. Wah, 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 wah. What I got in the mail. Don't hold it up yet. Don't do it.
I didn't.
Don't. Okay, first I want to show the extra book I got. This could be a giveaway if you follow this creator. It's called Interactivity Narwhal. So there's part of it. And basically this book, there's no page numbers in it. It looks like it's about 64 pages. It's mostly text. It's basically Narwhal on writing. So there's a book that came out years ago called I believe the exact title was Alan Moore on Writing, and it was Alan Moore being interviewed and talking about his writing process and what goes into story and structure. And that's what this does. And I haven't read it yet, and I'm going to read it. That's why I got it, because I like his insights from talking to him. So that's it. On the count of 3, Dennis, we'll hold up.
Well, and I have the Alan Moore book, and it is good, but it's different because specifically about the way he writes.
1, 2, 3. Nosferatu. Dun, 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 dun. Dennis, yours is open. Mine's still in the bag, so you can show what the insides look like. Narwhal, he did this to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Nosferatu, which I believe is this year.
The silent movie.
The silent movie. Now, this is not a silent book. So there is text to it. There's pinups in the back. There's process stuff in the back. 64 pages. Nice and thick. Just the way Dennis likes it. Yeah, Peer Brader said Nosferatu. Oh, crap, I spoiled it. You didn't spoil anything. Yeah. I cannot wait to dive into this book. It's one of those things. It very well could be this weekend because I've got a lot of stuff. Man, this bag. I actually took the white tape off. He bagged it, but I don't think you were ever supposed to take the tape off and let it seal because I'm having a hell of a time getting this sucker back open. There it is. There's the prints. Yep. Got some prints with it, though, not the little dude that used to sing and passed away from drug ODing.
But then you got the Noir Mafia card and then the sticker. It's cool. I got mine, and I did on my channel. I did a full unboxing and stuff. I already started reading. I haven't finished it yet. It's good. I mean, if you're a fan of the original, you guys will love it. It's very stylized. His as you saw, the artwork is very stylized, but it really fits with the stylization of the movie very well.
It does. Narwhal is a unique talent in this business. It's nice to see a fresh take on things, and that goes for pretty much all the work he's done. It's just kind of a different take, and visually it's fantastic. So there's that, which I'll be reading. I also got, and I know people will make fun of me in the chat, and that's fine. You can make fun of me. I don't care. Not being a shill, but two characters I've loved since I saw him. One, The Rock. I remember his debut in the WWF. I've watched every movie of his. Yes, I will go see Black Adam, and I've loved Captain Marvel and Black Adam since I first saw him as a kid. I love the design of Captain Marvel, of course, the big red cheese, but Black Adam without wearing a cape, I love this. Narwhal has been a guest on our show.
We've already had him as a guest. We actually talked about this book before it came out. Bam,
you got to go through the archives, buddy. Narwhal's been on the show. That's what made Dennis back the book.
It is.
He backed it right there. So, yeah. So, anyhow, here it is, the Black Adam. I'll have to do another unboxing video because we're running out of time because I had to take my daughter to work, which is fine. But so I got this. And the funny thing is, I didn't know if I wanted to unbox it. Some stuff I like to keep in the box. I will unbox this and display it. And like I do with all these figures, I keep the boxes. Dennis, show yours. And I got one more thing.
So I wound up getting the Playmobil USS Enterprise. I did my unboxing video yesterday. I just did the full review. We stayed up for about 3 hours putting it together. Last night, you guys can kind of see it. So the video is uploaded on my channel this morning. I'll kind of move it. It's too big to carry, but you guys can probably see it.
I bet you could drag that table over.
Yeah, it'd probably be easier than lifting that. It's on a stand and everything like that. But it's almost 40 inches long. There's so many decals. It took my wife and I almost 3 hours to put it together. It is really awesome. It even comes with an app. You'll see it in the video. So it makes sounds and everything. And everything lights up. So anyway, I'll post. It's like a Lego set. Yes, Tabitha's asking. It is very much like a Lego set, but it's really in order. It's detailed. This was an absolute masterpiece that they put together. There's a few things that I wouldn't like. I'm popping the link in right now to the actual video. You guys can go watch it if you want. Any Star Trek fans out there. It's just a nice little overview. You get to see close-ups, the figures. Everything is detailed. The little warp dilithium crystals, if you pull it out, it shuts the Enterprise down. When you put the dilithium crystal in, it powers it all up. The bridge comes off. It's amazing. So, yes, 3 hours at midnight, we called it quits, and I had to go to bed.
So what I'm hearing is it took you guys 3 hours to put this big 40-inch thing together. In other words, Susie finally got to do something with you with 40 inches for more than 30 seconds. And even after 3 hours, she was like, I'm exhausted and have to call it quits. And Dennis was like, I'm tapping out first. So that's good.
I did tap out. That's right. You can call it whatever you want. That's right. I did, man. At midnight, it was fantastic. Now, just so you know, Tabitha, my wife's the one who actually got me to buy this. We were at Andy's house, and she was talking about it when we left. When on the way back, she actually put it in the cart and said I needed to order it by the time I got home. So I did, and it will be a great piece that'll go with my 36-inch die-cast Tomy one that I backed on. It's like a Kickstarter thing. It's going to be an exact replica of what basically a 3-foot replica of the one that's in the Smithsonian from the original one.
Nice. One more thing, and then we're going to let you go about your day. a friend of ours, friend of the show, Joe Bernardo, always looking out for her brother, was in a store by him, and he saw a toy that was on clearance and didn't know if I saw it yet or had it for this cheap a price. So he got it for me. I got it in the mail this past Thursday. And I do have the figure that it goes with, so I'll be setting it up. You got me a little, yes, the cartoon sucks, but the figures are cool. I got the Battle Cat to now go with my He-Man, so I could pose He-Man on top of Battle Cat like any self-respecting boy wants to do. It is nice, full size. It's very cool. Great reference if I'm ever drawing like a tiger jumping and stuff. So fun stuff here. It was $25, clearance at Walmart. I have no idea if my Walmart has it for that cheap. So Joe hooked me up. That's a pal. Thank you very much, Joe. And I got that. Uh-oh, Dennis is showing me something else.
So they were asking, I'll pop it up, since there's Toy Talk to Swords.
Since there's Toy Talk, are there swords? Oh, yep, there you go.
So I do have a collection of swords. I've never gone LARPing. I was never part of SCA, but we used to buy Starfire swords and actually fight. So, I mean, we've dented them, banged them, good. This one is an actual real sword. It's a 440 stainless. It's really got it was a cool design. So, yeah, I do collect swords. I mean, this is heavy. This is full blown. I would never fight with this one because, you know, the hilt's just too cool on it. I wouldn't want to ruin it. But I do have some of my lower grade swords that are meant for fighting that I didn't sharpen that would be good for it. So, yeah, I do have a collection of swords. I've been a toy guy, so, yeah, I do have a lot of toys. I've got, if you see the video, my Enterprise one I did, you'll see I've got, like, the Playmate stuff. I've got the Necra. I mean, I got a lot of the different stuff. You'll see them. The Mego. I got the Mego Enterprise. Got a lot of the Star Trek stuff. Diamond.
Nice. Whenever I'm at Dennis's, he wants to cross swords. It's weird, but you know, that's what friends do. When a friend wants to cross swords, you do it. Guys, go sign up for Kordrat the Reckoning. The link is pinned, not posted. I guess it's posted as well. To the top of the chat. It's also in the description below. Go sign up for this. If you sign up and back, you'll get this sweet Lilith trading card. Only ways by signing up and backing. And of course, Bud Root did a cover for us, which is off to the colorist, Dan Lawless. So we'll see how that bad boy looks.
It'll look great. I can't wait.
Again, it will. Thank you for joining us this morning. And we'll see you guys next time. I need to try to get back to doing at least one Mornings with Andy live a week with my pre-recorded book looks. Until next time, I'm just waving.
Get your sexy on. I'm bringing sexy back.